Now let's prep for recording some drums. I personally like using live drums as much as possible, and I will show you one method where you can use just 4 microphones and still get great drum tracks. But first, let's prep the tracks by setting our channel and our track assignments. We go up to track 1. In the drop-down menu, we will select analog in 1 and 2. The first one I will go left. Track 2, I will go right. Track 3, I will go analog in 3 and 4, go left channel. Track 4, 3 and 4, right channel. And now we've armed 4 tracks, and that's all we'll need for this. Okay, so here we have the basics of our setup. We're using 4 mics. On the kick drum here, we're using the Sputnik by M Audio. It's a great sounding mic, especially for the price. And I have it set just off center of the air hole coming out of the back head of the kick drum. And the distance from the kick drum is somewhere between 8 and 12 inches. I have it set right now, I don't know, closer to 10 inches probably. If I'm only using, say, 2 mics, like a snare mic and then the Sputnik, which I have done, I've placed that just above the rim, where the capsule is just above the rim, approximately 4 inches, facing somewhat down toward the kick drum, but it still picks up the cymbals and it still picks up the toms. And I've also used that similar miking method when I've only had 1 mic. On the overheads right now, we got the Pulsar IIs, again by M Audio. And one is pointing toward the right crash and the ride cymbal, and the other one is pointed toward the left crash and the hi-hats. Now, distance from the cymbals, right now they're set at about, I don't know, 30 inches. On the snare, I have my customary SM57. The other mic that I've used occasionally on the snare is a 414. But for this type of gorilla miking and for the expense, you can't beat the SM57. The way the 57 is set up here, it's about 2 inches above the head and pointed directly at the center of the head. And all of these mics go into the M Audio Fast Track Ultra 8R, which again is an amazing sounding unit. And then from the 8R, it goes into my computer. A lot of people who track drums want the big, open, airy room. This room has 8-foot ceilings and carpet. The drums are situated in the corner, and it's in the kids' playroom. Okay, let's take a listen to the drums that I tracked earlier. Again, I used only 4 microphones, an M Audio Sputnik, a match set of M Audio Pulsar IIs, 1 Shure SM57, and it's all going through my M Audio Fast Track Ultra 8R. Now what we heard was completely raw. There was no EQ, no compression, nothing. If you track good sound, then sweetening is all that much easier. Now if you're more comfortable working on a traditional mixing console, simply click the Mixer tab. Now you can undock this by clicking the Undock tab, and now you can move it around as you please. To redock it, click the X, and there you go. Now just as on a mixing console, if you're looking to add some compression, EQ, reverb, whatever, you can do that here at the top where you see the effects button. Click it, and up pops your drop down menu. Here you can select your effect, any presets, and you can also customize your sound. Now if you want to do something more global, we can use our send button here and assign an effect that we can pull up on any or all the tracks. This is great if you're using something like delay or reverb. It would be nice to have the drums sound like they all came in the same room, instead of the snare being tracked in a cathedral and the kick drum being tracked in a playroom like ours was. Let's minimize this and go back to our track view. If we go to our project tab, and you can see right here next to the time signature, it says global effects. Any effects that you add here will be added globally, that is to all the tracks. If you want to add an effect just to a single track, go to the track tab. Select the track that you want to assign the effect to, and then select the effect. Now another way we can do it is to go up to the track and click the effects button. Here we can select the effect that we want. We're on the snare, so let's put on some compression. You can go to one of the presets, which here it would make sense to go to the drums, or you can click the edit button to customize it. Let's select another effect. Let's go to the classic EQ. Again, you have a number of different presets. Right now, let's just go to full reset, click edit, and here you can see your EQ. Let's click out of here for a second. Now if you want to automate this, you can go to the automate button, which is right next to the effects button. And right now it's set to track volume. But simply go to the drop down menu, go to classic EQ, and you can select the exact frequency that you want, or something like saturation. Now you notice this bar here, right now it's set to 1. By simply moving along this line and clicking, you can add edit points. And you can drag these to change your parameters. If you really want to customize it, you can go in and select something else. Again, just click to add your points. And set the parameters that you want. You can also set your envelope here. If you notice, if I hover over the snare, I get that familiar white line with 2 blue dots, one at either end. Right now the envelope is set to clip volume, but by going up to the drop down menu, I can change it to pan, low pass cutoff, low pass resonance, high pass cutoff, high pass resonance. So if we wanted it to pan, something extreme, again go to that edit line, add edit points. Now if we did want to change the volume, just go to clip volume, and you get a new fresh reset here. Put in your edit points, and do what you want with it. To listen how some of this works, let's first create a loop region. Simply hold and drag over the region that you want. Go down here and click your loop button. Also, let's solo the snare track so that's all that we hear. Now let's go to our effects button, select an effect. Let's do something extreme like a flanger. That way we'll really hear what's going on. Click the edit. Push play. And by clicking this button, we can hear the before and after. And once again, you can see what a truly powerful DAW Mixcraft really is.